I am Pierre. I am 9 years old. I'm from New Jersey. This is my mom.
I'm Gina. I'm 31 from New Jersey. Kier was diagnosed with stage 4 osteosarcoma. It's a bone cancer. He was diagnosed in his right tibia. He was at field day at school June 7, 2019, and the nurse called me and said that Kier had fallen at school and that I needed to come pick him up. So from there, I thought he just fell and was embarrassed and needed me just to come save the day. So by the time I got there, his leg had swollen up and the nurse was like, you need to take him to the emergency room. So on my way to the emergency room, I called his dad and I'm like, I think Kier broke his leg. We're going to the hospital to find out what's going on. I'll keep you updated. So then when we got to the hospital, they did all types of x-rays and scans to see what was going on with his leg. And then the doctor pulled me out the room and she was just like, take a look at these. So I'm looking at the scans, and inside the scan, it just looked like a cloud had burst inside his leg. And she was just like, I'm no specialist, but to me, it looks like either primary bone cancer or leukemia. So they did the blood work on him and they ruled out leukemia, and they're like, oh, it's some type of bone cancer. So she was just like, well, I know a specialist that specializes in cancers will send you that way. So we hopped in an ambulance and head to Robert Wood Johnson in New Brunswick, where they just called everything a tumor. So 3 days after that, we got moved from there to Newark. And then they did the biopsy and they came back and told us it was osteosarcoma. And then as far as like the other scans and stuff, they realized that he had nodules in his lungs, both lungs. So that's how the stage 4 came about.
What did that feel like when you found that out?
Like I died, like I got hit by a truck, like my world was just over. That was like the last thing I was ever expecting. And since then, it's just been a crazy roller coaster, and I'm still waiting to get off. In the beginning, we kind of kept him in the dark. We didn't like really say much to him, and then it took like the psychiatrist there to try to like bring it down to his terms, because this is all new to both of us. And she was just like, you know, you have a tumor that's in your leg that's causing harm to your body, and we have to take it out. And then you're gonna have to go through and take a bunch of like medicines that's not gonna make you feel well, and you know, you're gonna get through this. And then when we did like the big chop, she came back and had to talk to him again. She brought like a doll, and she was just like, you know, with this medicine, you know, that's gonna make your hair fall out. And then like she popped off the doll's hair, and she was just like, don't worry, over time. And then she put it back on, and she was like, your hair will come back. We had a great time on Ellen. Since then, Kier is now a celebrity. Everywhere he goes, he's like, oh, I'm a celebrity. We came back from the Ellen show and we continued a few more chemo treatments. In March, he rang the bell. We thought we were in the clear. 3 months later, he relapsed and it came back in his ankle with the same leg. One day we'll get good news, and then next thing you know, it's like we fall back rock bottom. Finding out that he had relapsed, we had to do the biopsy, and before we knew anything, they were telling us either it came back or he has infection in his ankle, because we did an MRI and a PET scan, and that area of his ankle lit up. So they're like, in order to find out what it is, we have to do a biopsy. So we went to Newark, they did the biopsy, and they pulled me into another room, and the doctor was telling me like, yeah, the same tumor came back, but it came back in his ankle. And I was so hurt. I mean, you know, I figured we would had more time out to actually like get our life back together, but it was only 3 months. And you know, for it to come back in the same leg, it was just like, okay, so what are our options? I was really, really hurt, and due to COVID, I couldn't have no support there, so I was in the hospital by myself. So when he came out of surgery, you know, I'm trying to keep a cool composure, and instead of worrying about himself, he's like, Mom, what's wrong? Are you okay? He was like, we got this. And he was just like, you know, we're gonna get through this. And I'm just like, you know, you don't know what's going on with you at this point in time. And he just didn't care. He was more worried about me. Throughout all of this, you know, you don't sweat the small stuff. Like, you know, he's fighting for his life every day, and, you know, 1 second could be the end of it. I feel like now he gets away with a lot of stuff because, you know, I'm just like, you know, kid, who knows, this might be your last, you know? This whole cancer thing, you live your life in fear because you don't know what may be next, because it is a roller coaster. Yeah, being part of fam, you get to see parents that's been in your shoes, and then also you get to advocate the parents who's just finding out, and just like, you know, everything is going to be okay. You're going to have your ups and downs, but you're going to get through this. First, reaching out to fam, I came to them as a support as far as like, what's my next move, or how do I go about this? How do I process everything? And the moms there they're great, because most of them have been in my shoes and been through being impatient and having those harsh chemos and stuff, and what to look forward to when those are done. Like, it helps out a lot, because sometimes you just need to talk to somebody, you know. And I don't know the words to express like how much fam has been there, because like I said, you grow a bond. And shoot, some of these moms, we cry together. Fam has always helped me from the time that, you know, I announced that my son was going through this situation, and they're still helping me to this day. Like, I feel like Milk is somebody, like one of my relatives, you know. I could just come to you like, look, I'm going through this, you know, what do you think I should do? Even for like advice, you know. I encourage everyone to at least reach out and seek fam, because fam is more than just a nonprofit, you know, it's family.